You see that field there. It's rare you'll see a spin bowler bowl to a 6-3 field. Some seamers can do it, particularly away swing bowlers with that control. But what both batters, both right-handers, will consider doing is stepping outside the off stump and unleashing either the sweep or the slog sweep to exploit that leg side. Obviously we'll get a single down there. 3 fielders in the leg side, deep mid wicket, long on, and then a short fine leg. So every single field of the offside's up in the circle, including the slip.
Yes, because he doesn't get that turn. He's just bowling with the arm, the ball getting into the right-hander. That is why the field is set. Now the slips has been taken off, is into short mid.
Slight change in approach, I suppose, for the two batters. They know that Kushal Patel is probably someone who prefers the sweep shot a little more than Asif Sheikh. But a good start this from Kuwait. I think a big toss to win. Both sides wanted to bowl. That's what Rob Powdell said at the toss. And all of these dots in the power play will help build up the pressure.
This is what Nepal doesn't want, dot balls in the first 6 overs.
There is that sweep, yeah. He enjoys that shot. You would suspect for Nepal, with the depth of their batting, they'll want these two to attack in the power play.
They should attack because their only 2 fielders are allowed outside the 30-yard circle in the first 6 overs. So they might take a risk and attack in the first 6 overs. But Yashin Patel, as we said, he's a very canny bowler.
Inside edge, that could have gone anywhere. And a fantastic start from Kuwait continues. Only 4 runs from the first 2 overs. Nepal 4 for none. So welcome along to the coverage. If you haven't enjoyed either the morning or the afternoon game, this is the 3rd game of 3 on the opening day. And we'll just try and explain the structure a little bit to you. 9 teams are coming together across 21 matches here in the beautiful Sultanate of Oman. They're separated into 3 groups of 3. We're here in Group B. The first action coming from Group B. We saw Group A action with the UAE, the tournament's leading ranked side, just about doing enough over Qatar. Oman beat Samoa this morning. And then in terms of the rankings, Nepal will be the favourites in this group, but we're expecting upsets throughout. It's important to get off to a good start because you'll carry your result through against the other side that qualifies. Top 2 from each group go through, and then we go into a Super 6 stage where you'll play 4 more matches against the top 2 in the other 2 groups. So in Nepal or Kuwait's case, that'll be against Group A and Group C, and then we'll end up with a Super 6 table. You kind of look at Qatar and Samoa's position now, both of whom have to play tomorrow. They lose and they are out. It's a cutthroat format. As Bertel goes through the offside, gets probably just the single.
He didn't time that as much as he liked. Just got the toe end of the bat. Lucky didn't go straight to the fielder. Farouk is getting a nice shape away from the right-hander. The pitch is helping the medium paces that we saw in the first game as well. UAE bowlers and even Qatari bowlers bowled very well the medium paces.
Slip continues in place. That's Rajiv Sandarawan. As the short ball hits him right in front, and that's going to be given. Rashid Riaz had no hesitation at all, and Farouk gets good reward for a fine start with the ball. Haven't seen any success yet from batters trying to play across the line in any of the 3 contests, and Sheikh is going to fall early. That was going to go on and crash into middle and off.
Exactly. Very straight delivery. Tried to play across the line, completely missed it. Asif Sheikh has to depart. Right in front of the middle stump.
Has kept a little low as well, hasn't it? And that will be a concern for all the batters who will watch that dismissal. Shakes early, the first one to fall. He's gone for 2. It's 5 for 1.
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टॉप सब ठीकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यही सेवाबाट यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
Seems to take it in a very graceful manner, but he identified very much in the build-up to that West Indies series that whilst that was a glamorous occasion, that inaugural Unity Cup, that this was the big focus, qualifying for the World Cup again. As the outside edge is beaten, I think he's just played inside the line of it, and I think he and all of his teammates, even Stuart Law, the head coach, will admit that they will not come to this qualifier expecting to qualify easily. There's going to be many tough games, and Kuwait are proving that already.
Yes, that's very good channel by Farouk, bowling outside the off stump, outside the off stump, ball swinging away from the right-hander. Rohit Paudil playing inside the line of the ball.
Yeah, special night for Paudil as well, with it being his 50th match as captain of the nation. He's captained his country in this format more than anyone. Paris Khadka in second with 27, Lamachani 18, Gyanendra Malla 12, dating all the way back to that first T20I in the T20 World Cup back in 2014 up in Bangladesh. Gully now comes into place. That's how extravagant the movement has been. He's got a good record too, doesn't he? Only lost 18 of those 50 matches and plenty of wins in there. He's a fine young leader.
He is a very fine young leader. And talking about Kuwait, this is what they should do. Nepal already one down in the third over. Just 5 runs on the board. There's a slip and a gully. Good attacking field for the outswinger.
They're really impressed with the start from Kuwait. Many call them sort of the dark horse, the underdog to watch in this competition. As another one goes past the outside edge, Farouk has it on a string. Nepal are in early trouble. It's 5 for 1.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यही सेवाबाटै
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक
Skyworth Home Appliances.
As Bertel goes to the power sweep, gets a good piece of it, and will get the first maximum. More like it for Nepal. Little bit off the higher half of the bat, but he goes with such aggression and such confidence. He gets 6.
This is what Burtel can do to a left-arm spinner. Just comes across the stumps and slog sweeps it over mid-wicket boundary.
Back live with you now and beats the outside edge. Really good piece of bowling. He adjusts always well, doesn't he, Yasin Patel?
Slightly slower through the air this time around on the off stump, and there was a hint of a turn as well. Good contest between Yasin and Burtel.
Yeah, slip is out of place now, and there's 5 fielders hovering in a ring. They're all probing in there, trying to apply the pressure, cut off every run that they can. Burtel's return to form with the bat is still very much worth his place in the side, even if he's not in form with the bat. But his return to form with the bat to go alongside his fine leg spin bowling that's improving, and indeed his outstanding fielding, it's a real boost for Stuart Law.
That is what he did in the last match against West Indies last week. Scored 39 runs, and he was unlucky to be given out by the umpire that particular day.
Paudil gets off the mark, confidently down towards long on. Having seen what we saw in the afternoon game, I know it's early stages of this contest, but we probably don't think it's a 170, 180 track, do we? You're talking about the kind of surface. Average first inning score just a shade over 150 here. It looks like a surface that if you got 150 on it, you'd be confident that your bowlers can defend it.
Yes, if you get 150 odd or even 140 plus, Nepal has those kind of bowlers who can defend that. It's all about the first innings batting that Nepal should do.
Good bowling. Keeps it away from the attack zone and the strong zone of Bertel, who you could see was itching to go to the sweep or go inside out over extra. Gets us to the end of the fourth, and Nepal continue to be in trouble in this power play. 13 for 1.
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
The Nepalese community is coordinated to come in their hundreds a day off work. As Farooq continues, and this is an exceptional opening spell. He attacks Powdle with a swinging ball, and a crooked bat coming down causes issues for the skipper.
He's not that expressed, but he's found his line and length, and the ball is shaping away from the right-hander. Pitching on off stump and moving away, it's particularly hard. The length is back of the length. The batsman thinks that he should go forward or either back.
Down the leg side and just helped round the corner. Powdle always quick between the wickets, pushes hard, but no potential for a second there. Can you give us an idea, Paresh, of the weight of expectations back home, I suppose, after the joy and emotion of a month that nobody could ever forget, and the way in which it ended with that Unity Cup win? Everyone expects Nepal to qualify back home, do they?
Yes, they do expect Nepal to qualify for the T20 World Cup next year. Everyone backing Nepal team, not only back in Nepal, but around the world.
A huge diaspora right the way across the world. Throw at the non-striker's end is a direct hit, and Powdle is not just going to get one from this, I think he'll get two. That's brilliant reactions, and the outstanding running between the wickets that we saw from Nepal and their brilliant work in the field will be a big factor tonight. We saw that throughout the Unity Cup. Great awareness to turn a dot into two.
Rohit Paudel just took 2 or 3 steps. It was a direct hit. The ball ricocheted off the stumps, and it could have been a dot ball, resulting the second run.
Yeah, great stuff from Mohammad Akif Farooq. Good start from him. He's been very much all over the right-handers. You do just wonder, the Kushal Malla role, we saw him open in one game, that was with Asif Sheikh having been left out in the Unity Cup. But wonder when he will come in. As Bertel picks it up into the night sky and flies it away all the way. Second maximum, and both have belonged to Bertel. That was even more impressive than the first one. A good strike, and more like it from Nepal.
He picked up the length very early, Kushal Patel. It was not that short. He picked it up on the front foot, heaved it down to wide long on for a maximum. A good pickup shot.
Yeah, lovely to see the colour of the Nepal fans in always with the most beautiful flag you can ever imagine. The only one in the world that's not rectangular, remember, as a tribute to their gorgeous mountains. As Bertel tries to go again, not going to be 6, but it will be 4. Just a couple of bounces across the outfield. He looks in really good touch, and just maybe a case of an over too many for the youngster, just 17 years of age in his second T20I back-to-back boundaries.
Coming down the track, hitting it on the up, Kushal Patel over mid-off fielder for a boundary. 6 and a 4, 13 runs of the first 5 balls off this over.
Yeah, really good batting. And Bertel coming back to form, back in his favoured role. They kind of, in 2024, they played with him a bit, didn't they? Because of his lack of form, he went up and down the order. He went down, I think, at one point as low as number 7. He's a natural opener. He's good at exploiting the power play, and this is where he belongs. Little change of pace, probably a slower ball from Farooq. will make it 14 runs from the over, the most expensive of the innings thus far, and Nepal are finally up and running. It's 27 for 1 after 5. Tell us a bit more about the month of September. Paresh, we won't touch on the politics too much, but the protests across the country obviously have created a wave of change and a hope for a brighter future for the nation.
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक
sunflower oil मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
sunflower oil मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक
On avidly, and great to have them alongside us. Going to see some leg spin for the first time today, actually, in the 2 games that we've seen. We didn't see any wrist spin in the afternoon clash. Navin Rajendran will come in with his right arm leg spin, slightly unorthodox, a little bit off the wrong foot, but we heard Mohammad Aslam, he spoke at the toss about how he wants to back his spinners, so that's not just Yasin Patel, that's Navin Raj here. We'll see, I suspect Mohammad Aslam himself have a good bowl, and they have a couple of other options too. Meet Bob Sark and bowl, those are the left arm spinners as well. Plenty of spin options for Kuwait. Well, that's a drag down and really a free hit for Rohit Paudel, who gets his first boundary, helps it round the corner.
And that's Rohit's favourite shot. Going down on his knees, pulled it up behind square on the leg side for a boundary. A half tracker, nicely dealt with by Rohit Paudel.
Guided away, that's a shot that Rohit Paudel, well, he plays as well as anyone. It's such a touch shot, it's a touch of class. The late cut, it's so difficult to play if you haven't batted up at this level. Uses the width and the pace on the ball to guide it away for 4 more.
Played it very late, almost played it from the keeper's gloves.
And all of a sudden a power play that was going nowhere finally has some momentum. Thought it was strange not to continue with Yasin Patel. Now works it into the leg side, won't get a single this time. You talk about a desirable target. Did they want more than 140 despite the assistance the bowlers have been getting, 150, 160?
No, they should have the cushion of 150 runs on the board to defend it.
Oh, right into the block hole. It ends up missing everything, and the keeper himself can't get a glove on it. I think it cannons somewhere off his body and will be given as buys. Great to have Phil Gillespie here, all the way up from Australia, as one of our standing umpires, standing alongside Rashid Riaz, all overseen by Ken Tanham, the ICC match referee. High quality umpires out there, 2 of the best going around the circuit, Phil Gillespie and Rashid Riaz. Great to have them here. And I was talking to them just before the start. They were both really looking forward to this competition. They think it's going to be an absolute quality one with some really good cricket. And the thing that you and I love, Paresh, a bit of drama. We're going to have plenty of drama. They're going to get an overthrow. They've turned what should have been a dot ball into 2. Outstanding running between the wickets again.
Yes, they run between the wickets very well. Kushal Patel and Rohit Paudel. After 6 overs, Nepal 39 for 1. The power play is done. This is the highlights of the power play. The first wicket to go, Asif Sheikh, trapped in front. 2 sixes by Kushal Patel. And 2 boundaries by Rohit Paudel. It was a mixed bag power play for both the teams. Yeah, good acceleration though from Nepal. They benefited from that. It was a slightly loose over from Navin Raj. A couple of good balls in there, but you saw the drag down to the leg side, then the drag down.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Skyworth Home Appliances.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल.
So the teams have to be quick in between their overs. It's to keep the pace of play going, something that's been trialled and now implemented permanently by the ICC. This one is cut away for what will be for a nice outswinger, but it was a bit of a loosener, and Powdell gets on top of the bounce and guides it away pleasingly.
That was a very good square drive by Rohit Powdell, leaning to the shot, getting the placement right behind square on the offside. The third man fielder had no chance. Even the sweeper cover didn't have chance to stop that.
Not sure if you caught the Stuart Law interview with the Hamro Khelkhud team who are out here, Subhash Mungan and his colleagues, providing great coverage of the tournament to all those across Nepal. That was, I think, 48 hours before the start of the competition, after the second warm-up match. And he was asked about a lack of runs for Rohit Powdell, and it was a pretty stern answer, wasn't it, from the Australian head coach. He said, "We have got nothing to worry about our captain. He will contribute absolutely when he needs to. He can turn his game on when the side needs it, can turn his strike rate around as well." And he got a couple of starts against the West Indies, but no really big scores.
That happens to a player, but it doesn't matter if you don't score runs until and unless the team is winning.
Good length this time from Anudeep, and somehow they get a single. The only way these two can get quicker between the wickets is if Dipendra Singh Iree comes to the crease, but the three of them really, Powdell, Bertel, Iree, are lightning, aren't they? And that's probably the brand of cricket that Stuart Law wants these young Nepali players to play.
That is what the head coach wants. Very quick in between the wickets, and even in fielding, these three fielders are the best amongst all members, not only associate but full members as well.
Short wide, cut away again, just going to be a single. Yeah, they put on a clinic in that second T20I. I was doing a little wrap up of the series with our colleague Sharad Vasakar, and I said I think I've been lucky enough to be at probably well over 1,000, over 1,500 international matches now. I've never seen a better fielding performance than that one 10 days ago in Sharjah.
Yes, it was the second game. It was a massive fielding effort by all the fielders, all 11 fielders in the field.
Beats the outside edge. Now, Anudeep was the hero in that final between Kuwait and Nepal back in Hong Kong. I think he picked up 4 wickets that evening, and he's got a good track record against Nepal.
Yes, I think he took 4 wickets. He has a good outswing. His pitching is good. He bowls back up the length. He's not that express, but he bowls good balls. 7 runs of this over so far.
Oh, now half a chance. Not easy, but a definite chance. He gets a hand on it. And, well, given that he was following through to his left and he had to dive to his right, I think it's an outstanding effort. Nearly would have been as good a caught and bowled as you'll ever want to see, but he can't hold on.
Bortel tried to turn his bat, got the leading edge, got the half of the bat. It was a terrific effort by the bowler there, Anudeep. Couldn't hold on to it. 7 overs done, Nepal 46 for 1.
It's the batting card.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यही सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक।
सनफ्लावर ओइल, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट
As Naveen Raj, with his kind of mixed bag of tricks, not just leg breaks, bit of everything in his delivery, is going to continue, and he now has that relief of 5 fielders outside the circle, having bowled his first over in the power play.
He looks like a wrist spinner, but he bowls 4 or 5 different deliveries with his fingers, with his wrist.
The modern T20 cricketer, isn't it? What they do. That's the leg break, and gets straight through him. Brilliantly bowled. It's the drift and then the dip that's accounted for Rohit Powdell, who ends up losing his leg stump. It was perfectly pitched. There was a threat of this in the previous over where Powell couldn't pick up the Yorker, and Naveen Raj spears it in there to find Kuwait second. Excellent bowling.
Speared in, the ball drifting into the right-hander, into the base of leg stump. Rohit Paudel, after getting a start, he has to depart again for 16 of 15 deliveries with 3 fours.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाई नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित.
Has got themselves into trouble. Maybe a bit of something for Powell to work on there, just to look more straight down the ground. Undone by a wonderful piece of bowling, and no surprise to see that it's a left-hander come to the crease to give a left-hand right-hand combination to help Nepal, with Kushal Malla, the youngster, recalled for the West Indies series and showed some good touch there. Obviously he was playing down in the top end T20 as well, but from the international end, T20I is recalled in for that after missing out in Scotland. He'll have a big role to play at number 4.
Yeah, this is a good move by the coach, sending in Kushal Malla, the left-hander, to face the leg spinner and the left-arm orthodox, because Kuwait has plenty of left-arm options.
Slip comes into place, and again it's the leg break. Not really a spinning leg break, is it? It's going to skid on, but it's the drift that he's getting that will cause problems.
That is what Rohit Paudel could manage, the drift. He yorked himself. He tried to play across the line. He could have played it straight.
A little shorter, which will allow Malla to get off the mark. Cheer from the Nepal fans. Will Bertel attack Naveen Raj here with the field out, or happy to work it around for the moment?
Well, I think he'll be happy to work it around. Just give the strike to Kushal Malla, who's a left-hander.
If you're wondering, the average first innings score here at this venue, about 151. So that's an average, obviously a cumulative across, I think it's over 67, maybe 68 if you include this afternoon's match today at this venue. Oh, now this is close, but a bit of bat involved will keep Kushal Bertel's wicket intact. Great move from Mohammad Aslam to keep Naveen Raj on after an expensive first over.
Yes, a wicket already in this over and just a single given away. I'm very impressed with Aslam's captaincy, how he rotates his bowlers.
Oh, it's again that Yorker. Nepal are just not picking it up. It's a single and a wicket in the over. 8 have been bowled. 47 for 2. The night sky.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
Overs.
They have to do that if they want to post a healthy total or respectable totals, let's say around 140 to 150. That can be a defendable total.
Slip comes into place. Sander Awan there, immediately trying to attack Kushal Malla, and Mohammad Aslam, the captain, on the hunt for wickets. This is good proactive captaincy, something we maybe didn't see as much from Qatar in the afternoon game, who really just kind of went through the motions once the power play was done. They fought hard, yes, but they kind of went to set plans. Bit of innovation here from Kuwait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fielders up in the circle, including that slip.
Yeah, Kushal Malla just in after the wicket of Rohit Paudel. This is a very good move.
And causing a few problems. They'll know that Mala's much more devastating against spin, particularly left arm spin. That's his bread and butter, what he adores. But even just 2 or 3 overs of keeping things tight as we look at the field here will really aid Kuwait, although the slip now comes out of place and comes into probably a close catching mid-wicket.
I think Kushal Malla, he hasn't read the pace of the wicket. That is why he's getting those inside edges, under edges, not timing the ball well. Whereas Kushal Burdell has recognized the pace of the wicket.
Really good fielding, outstanding diving stop. Sandro Wan getting his body on the line and heaping the pressure onto Malla. Now 1 off 5.
3 dot balls on a trot puts pressure on Kushal Malla. This is very good bowling by Anudeep. Into his second over, only 7 runs given away.
Will allow Malla to get off strike, but Bertel has just been a bit shy of strike, hasn't he, the last 3 or 4 overs? Kuwait getting the squeeze on very effectively outside the power play.
Yeah, that is because they have 5 fielders inside the circle, even though the power play is off. They want to take wickets, they want to put pressure on Nepali batters. That's very good captaincy.
Yeah, if you're just wondering about the warm-up games for both these sides, we spoke a little bit about that in the afternoon as well. Kuwait's got a win. It was a tight win over the hosts Oman. They won by 3 wickets on the 3rd of October. That was end of last week. And this one's punched down the ground. And then in their second warm-up game, they also got a win. That was over Qatar by 34 runs. Probably a slightly more impressive performance. Meet Bavsar, who's such an incredible batter at the top of the order. He made 65. For Nepal, pretty much smooth going, and they'll be happy with their 2 performances. They were very comfortable victors over Oman, who only made 110 against them. Dipender Singh Airi in the wickets, Asif Sheikh in the runs, and then they also got a 16-run victory over Qatar. It was probably a bit more than that because the second innings they just rotated their bowlers around. Kushal Bertel was in the runs that night. As Malla misses out, be given as a wide just outside that guideline. In both games, Sandeep Lamachani played, and in both games in the wickets. So, given all of the, I suppose, the media talk and the unknown quantity around why he wasn't playing the games against the West Indies, didn't play any of the 3, that's a really good sign for Nepal.
Yeah, it's a very good sign. Amongst the wickets in the warm-up games, Sandeep Lamachani is a world-class operator. This is a very good over by Anudeep.
And Nepal are just happy to work it around. The 50 has come up, and at the end of the 9th, 1 more over to the drinks break. It's 51 for 2. Very good evening to you all watching the coverage. Great to have you alongside us. I know we'll have messages from all over the world, particularly when Nepal play. We tend to hear from their diaspora, not just in Australia, but in places like Japan and Korea. All across the Gulf here, we see the fans in the house, back in beautiful Nepal, and then in Europe and the Americas as well.
Energy 8. Laksha Anek, Energy 8. Energy Bhanekai, Red Bull.
Sunflower oil, Mayale Badeko Swad.
Panchakanya Bathware, luxury made affordable.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाट
A very, very tightly fought qualifier from start to finish. Do you even see any of the teams going unbeaten here?
No, I don't, because it's a very tight schedule. I mean, all the teams can beat any team in a particular day.
I think if you look at it as well, I know the rankings are always only a barometer or a guider, if you will. As Bertel cuts this away, but a good stop. Doesn't just save the boundary, but saves a single as well. UAE are top of the charts with their ranking. They're up with 179 points and 15th place in the world. So you can say that they're rightly the favourites, but equally they didn't qualify for the last T20 World Cup. That one nearly chipped back at the bowler. And then Nepal in 18th, Oman in 20th, Papua New Guinea 21st, Kuwait 23rd. So there's actually only 5 places separating Nepal and Kuwait in the rankings. Then we got Malaysia 25th, Qatar 30th, and a bit of a gap to Japan 44th and Samoa 69th, the underdogs of the tournament. They lost this morning against Oman, but the rankings matter for nothing, particularly in these pathway events. It's all about the pressure. It's all about can you adjust and cope with that pressure. And Nepal are having plenty of pressure applied to them right now. And they don't look comfortable out there. This is good bowling from Kuwait.
Yeah, it's exceptionally good bowling from the start by the Kuwaiti bowlers. And talking about pressure, every team, they play under pressure in the for the qualification. It is the qualifiers. That is why the extra pressure is being given to the team.
Just so much on the line, isn't there? It's everything or nothing. Oh, it's another one, and it's the Yorker. It's a specialised delivery that Navin Raj is targeting, and Nepal at the moment don't have an answer to it. It did Rohit Powdell not once but twice. The second one bowled him. It did Bertel once that just missed, and now it's accounted for Kushal Malla. Outstanding bowling, and again it's speared in and it hits the off stump.
Yeah, this was not a leg spinner, it was a seam-up delivery. Actually, it was an in-swinger for the right-hander and an out-swinger for the left-hander into the block hole base of off stump. Kushal Malla has to depart for 4 of 9 deliveries, and it's time for a drinks break, and we'll take a break here in the commentary box.
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित।
Sunflower oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद।
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल। हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
स्काईवर्थ होम एप्लायन्सेस।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT।
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल। सनफ्लावर ओइल, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद।
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
रेड बुल प्रेजेन्ट्स T20 World Cup qualifiers, नेपालको विश्वकप यात्रा, powered by Gyan Extra Long Grain Basmati Rice.
Shinja. Instead, they're going to go with Jora, who had one outstanding performance in that West Indies series himself. It gets us to the halfway stage of this first innings, and Kuwait will be the happier of the two sides in a very strong position. They have 3 wickets, and Nepal have just 53 runs.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
स्काईवर्थ होम एप्लायन्सेस।
Rings out around the Oman Cricket Academy. That was a blockbuster hit last year, wasn't it, Paresh, back in Nepal?
Yes, it was. There's a bowling change. Shiraj Khan Sharif is the new bowler.
Another one of the options with the spinners, Shiraz Khan. Beautiful bowler to watch. Much more classical leg spinner than that of Naveen Raj. Yeah, Mata Dalle Dalle by Shantarani Pariyar. Felt like that was almost on repeat at the Nepal Premier League last year at points.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, really, really catchy. It's just maybe the catchiest song I reckon I've ever heard, that one. Even been known to sing along to it. No dancing though, Paresh. Definitely no dancing. Can't be doing that. Short and wide and cut away. Should get a couple here as Bertel's very quick. They might even think of a third with the misfield, but no. They will stick to 2. For Nepal from this position, where exactly do you think they can drive up to, Paresh?
Well, they need partnership. Not only a partnership, but they need boundaries as well to get to a respectable total. Losing the toss and put to bat. Shiraj Khan Sharif, he's a proper leg spinner who bowls with the wrist.
He gets good turn, doesn't he? He really does, and as a consequence, anyone who gets good revs on the ball will always get good drift. So he'll drift it into the right-handers and turn it away. Do you think Jora's played very well and 100% deserves his spot in this 11, but also up the order at number 5? But I just wonder whether or not they could have gone with a left-hander. Rashid Riaz not happy with the fielders in the deep, and having a long chat with the skipper Mohammad Aslam, who's at cover, just saying he does not want the throws to be coming in off the turf. Khan was interested there. They'll get a single. With Nepal's bowling depth, 140 could be enough, but it's not going to be comfortable.
Like I said, for the cushion, they need at least 150 on board.
Yeah, fascinating periods of the game. Again, the drifting, you can see it through the air. But not just of the game, Paresh, but because of the structure. I'm just going to repeat it again. Only 2 group games. You lose both your group games, you're gone home. You're back on a plane to either Kuwait or to Kathmandu. If you win one, you can go through, but there are scenarios where each of the 3 sides could win one. Then it will come down to net run rate. As the sweep shot comes out, but there is protection out there. So because of that format, you have to get off to a good start. And then with you carrying the points through, as we've seen in most Super 6 structures, end of the 11th at 60 for 3, it's just so important to...
Special celebrations like Sunday special बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टील.
From Mohammad Aslam, not into November yet. There is the Movember charity. He starts with a real loose one. Bertel, because he'd come down, I think if he'd stayed where he was, he could have helped that round the corner for 4. Mohammad Aslam gets away with it somewhat. A little bit like what we saw from Mujibur Rahman earlier for Qatar. Will come wide of the crease, quite round arm.
Yes, it's similar action like Mujibur Rahman of Qatar. Similar action, similar point of release, side arm.
As a consequence, won't get much turn. Will challenge the inside edge of the bat as much as the outside. Really round arm that time. One of the, I think it's 3 players in this Kuwait squad with Sri Lankan origin and heritage. Rajiva Sandarawan as well, and Mohammad Aslam, both having played some first-class cricket back in Sri Lanka. But he's been a fine captain for this Kuwait team. You spoke about how you quite fancy the UAE, Nepal and Oman as the three qualifiers. If there is someone to upset those three, you think it would be Kuwait?
It's absolutely, because they are underdogs coming into the tournament. Like in T20, you never know what team will beat which team.
Down the track, and it's going to be stumped. Brilliant from Mohammad Aslam. He's pumped up. Marvellous glove work as well to go with it from Usman Patel. And it's such a clever piece of bowling. Beaten on the inside edge. Jora's almost expected some turn, and there's no doubt now that Nepal are in real trouble. They've lost a fourth wicket, and Jora, who was so good against the West Indies, he's got to walk back.
Yes, it's not a good sign to come down the track for a quick delivery like that. Beating the inside edge of the bat. A good glove work by the keeper there. Easy decision to be made by the umpire. Sandeep Zora has to depart for 5.
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक
sunflower oil मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
sunflower oil मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
Arm spinner bowling in tandem has to be Gulshan Jah for me. Instead they've gone with Irie, so two right-handers come together, and I think Kuwait will be elated with that. They'll see that as an opportunity to continue to bowl some dot balls and build some pressure.
Yeah, I was expecting Gulshan Jah to come in after Sandeep Zora got out. Again, flatter through the air. Wonderful feeling of his own bowling. Mohammad Aslam, the captain, leading from the front. 3 runs and a wicket in this over. 12 gone, Nepal 63 for 4.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै.
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु.
It's going to be Shiraj Khan to continue. 7 runs given away in his first over. This is his second, the 13th of the innings. Nepal in trouble, 63 for 4.
Difficult position here for Nepal. Got to scrap up to some kind of a total. They do bat a long way down, but the pressure is just being applied ever so well by Kuwait spinners. Could have a dramatic upset, a big turn up for the books on the opening day. We nearly had one at stages, that UAE versus Qatar contest, but in the end the Emiratis class showed Nepal have it all to do from here.
They have. I think the wrong choice of batters to be sent. Like you said, Lenny, left arm orthodox and leg spinner bowling. A left-hander should be the case.
Yeah, for me, I cannot get my head around that. However well Dipender Singh Ari plays, and he's so quick between the wickets, he finds a way to get two there. Most people it would have been a single for, but Bertel's quick too. I just think you have to go to Gulshan Jah to take on the bowlers. Look at the running between the wickets. Irie's in fourth gear there. He's not even close. He jogged the second bit of that second run. Remarkable speed. He's a dynamite. You cannot take your eyes off him. Now, good squeezing in the ring. Single saved.
Yes, that's very good fielding. And the last, the 2 runs that they took, the ball hardly crossed the 30-yard circle.
Got to give you one quick update. Paresh, you were talking about that ICC Women's Cricket World Cup game in Colombo earlier and how Australia were in such trouble. This is driven away for what Might only be the single. Good line run by the fielder. At one stage, a 76 for 7 in the 21st over. They somehow batted through the innings. Beth Mooney made 109, posted 221, and it looks like it's going to prove too much for Pakistan. So Nepal fans will be hoping that there's no upsets today, is it?
हरेक लक्ष्य को आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
Say around 140 to 150 runs. They have to start it now.
Good from Irie, reading the fact that the ball's not going to turn and happy to punch it down the ground for one. Bertel, for some reason, across the last 6 or 7 overs, has barely faced a ball. He seems like he's just not getting the strike. As a consequence, just lost his rhythm a touch in his innings. Will pick up a couple here.
A good running again. Purtel just trying to stretch his calves.
Real drag down and gets away with it a little bit, does Mohammad Aslam. Didn't quite pick the length up there, Bertel. Would have thought he would have gone to the power pull shot. Big gap between long on and deep mid wicket, probably 45-50 yards between them. Nepal just not able to find the boundary at the moment.
Already playing down the ground, looking for the second, but it's not on. Purtel, 37 of 37 run-a-ball innings.
Haven't hit a boundary since the first ball outside the power play, Nepal. So that's, well, best part of 8 overs now without a boundary. And however difficult and tricky the batting conditions are, you can't afford to do that in T20 cricket. They've got to take some risk here and find out a zone to target. They're rebuilding with 1s and 2s, that's fine, but need to find the rope with some regularity to go with that. No real sign of a boundary coming yet, despite 7 runs coming from the 14th over. It is 74 for 4.
Special celebrations like झन्नै special बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
sunflower oil मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टील.
Well, just draped in glory, the folk hero, the original hero in many ways, alongside the likes of Paris Kadka and Basanta Regmi and Shakti Gauchan and so many others. Binod Das, who will be watching on from all across the world. There is a challenge here for Nepal. It's exactly what they would have expected from Kuwait. They will have not underestimated their opposition in any way, shape or form. If they can only get 130, do you still think they'll have enough with their attack to restrict Kuwait?
Well, they'll have to bowl really well to defend 130 odd runs. They have the bowlers.
Oh, diving effort and a sparkling effort to the highest quality. The skipper, Mohammad Aslam, well, flying through the air, much like Zishan Maqsood or maybe Aki Bilias have done for Oman in those World Cups. This would have been one of the best catches of all time. Oh, great effort.
Diving to his right. It would have been the catch of the tournament so far.
Oh, boy, I think it would have stayed the catch of the tournament. to go with it. I don't really want to call that a drop catch. I actually think he saved 3 there with the dive. He's so close in at cover too. The full toss from Shiraz Khan has only cost a single.
Yeah, all the bowlers have bowled pretty well here for Kuwait. The captain Mohammad Aslam rotating his bowlers quite well.
Inside edge, and yeah, Bertel is, well, he's playing the anchor, but he just hasn't found any rhythm outside of the power play. There's a bit of a flourish towards the end of it, but it still remains the fact that the final boundary, or the last boundary that was hit in this innings, came off delivery 6.1, 8.5 overs ago. So a real dearth of finding the rope for Nepal. Yeah, this third and final match starting at 7 p.m. local time, Paresh, played entirely under the floodlights, so there shouldn't be a difference in the conditions for the two sides, you wouldn't think?
No, I don't think there'll be any different conditions under lights. It's all about the approach and
punched into the leg side again. It's just a single. They are scoring off every ball, but really it's just ones and the occasional 2. 6 come from the 15th. It's 80 for 4. Nepal have it all to do here in the final 5.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक, एनर्जी भनेकै Red Bull.
Skyworth Home Appliances.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल।
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
Find a way to get 10 and over off the last 5. 10 and over from here gets you up to 130. It's not par, it's 20 runs under the average at this venue, but it's something. And they've got 6 wickets in hand. You have to take some risk now. I understand the consolidation and the rebuild here, and Bertel moves into the 40s. But Irie, we know his pedigree at this ground. He famously hit those 6 sixes against Qatar in the ACC Premier. They've got to have a go now, and they've got to start finding the rope. 1s and 2s aren't going to be enough in the final 5.
this is excellent bowling by Yashin Patel. Just a single given away in every delivery. Like you said, Lenny, the last boundary came in the 7th over. Now it's the 16th over. Very good bowling by Yashin Patel. Over pitched into the block hole. Just a single. This is exceptional by Kuwait.
Yeah, really good stuff from Kuwait there, continuing to twist the knife. You'd just like to see Nepal try something. Is it coming down the track? Is it looking for a slog sweep? Is it looking to reverse sweep, hit with the spin? But they have to take some risk to find boundaries here. 1s and 2s not enough.
Again, just a single.
Kuwait are just doing all the basics right. Very few extras. Impressive bowling. Generally fielded pretty well. And even though Nepal are running well between the wickets, 1s are not enough. 16 bowled. Another 6 runs from that over. It's 86 for 4. Only 4 remain. And the fate of this game, it's hanging in the balance. And as a consequence, with the structure of this tournament, the fate of the campaign for Nepal.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक।
Sunflower सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
Now, Shiraz Khan is going to bowl the 17th, and I think this is going to be a warning here. They're past the 1 minute. Rashid Riaz is... Don't think we've seen a warning yet. That will be the first warning, I suspect. They're well past the 1 minute that they need to bowl. They're over in between. They do that twice more. That will be a 5-run penalty. Keep your eyes on the umpires. We'll try to keep you posted of that too. You sense that this over, the final one of Shiraz Khan, surely has to be one that Bertel attacks here. Slog sweep up towards the pavilion. Is that the option?
The ball is turning. There's a drift as well. I don't think that can be an option. Inside out can be an option.
Goes down the ground, but straight to long off. Doesn't carry. I think at first he thought it was coming straight to him. It's Bilal up there. Maybe just slightly miss hit off the toe of the bat. Gets away with it. Another single. And down the ground, the fast wrists of Dipendra Singh Airi at a venue he adores finally break the shackles. It's the first boundary in more than 10 overs, and it goes to Dipendra Singh Airi.
It was overpitched and really hit hard by Dipendra Singh Airi straight down the ground for a 6. They need plenty of those if they want to go to a respectable total.
Now goes to the slog sweep, well outside the line, so it's an easy decision for Rashid Riaz. I'll scamper through for what will be given as a leg by. Where's that crowd come from? Looks like it's doubled or tripled in size in the last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, they must have finished their work and came straight to the ground.
Great support. And there, that's a big strike. That flies gloriously into the night sky. It's a big, big hit. And the ideal way, a most majestic way, in fact, to bring up the 100. And it is the big over. We speculated it was needed. And Nepal's fans, their 12th player, finally being brought into the contest.
It was not that overpitched, but it went out of the ground.
It's a big hit. Big hit from Kushal Bertel. That's up towards the car park. I hope our driver's car is okay up there. Don't want to be driving home with a smash window, Paresh, do we? Great support. Look at that. The entirety of this media centre is basically filled to the hilt. The main grandstand here. A great camera shot from our team. Hope you're enjoying the pictures and the coverage, and you're very welcome along to ICC TV, live and free every brawl of these 21 games. You've got the company of me here, Andrew Leonard, alongside Paresh Lahani, the former Nepal opening batter. Former, do you captain at one point, Paresh?
Yes, I was.
Former captain. Sorry, I should give you your full title. I'm sorry, my friend. I knew you captain. Former captain and opening batter for Nepal. Bit of pressure on Shiraz Khan. I think Bertel will keep going. We've missed the fact he got to 50 in amongst that beauty. Comes off 46 balls. And Bertel will get the single. So for Bertel, as he brings up that 50, it's yet another 50 in this format for him, where he's got such a good record. A 12th in his career from 63 innings. Career strike rate up at around 130. This one's come off 47 balls.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको यूवी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
Media centre end of the ground here. Cut away. There is protection out there. Looks like Kuwait have really got their plans nailed in terms of which fielder in which position, the angles that they're fielding as well. They haven't given away many.
Yeah, I think they've planned very well against Nepal. because they know Nepal's game very clearly. The fielders on the leg side, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and a long on, and a short fine.
Yeah, fourth time these two sides have met in T20I cricket. Nepal hold the edge 2-1, the solitary win for Kuwait came earlier this year. That was in Hong Kong during the quadrangular series. And I spoke to Mohammad Aslam about that at the toss. He said that victory has given them real belief that they can do it again today on an even bigger stage.
Yes, I heard that, and he even said that you have to be confident but not overconfident. Never underestimate any team.
Short and wide, they're going to scamper a single or attempt to, and even with Dipender Singh Ari's speed, he's not going to get there because it was straight to the keeper. And it will be the end, well, maybe a pretty selfless piece of running from Dipender Singh Ari, looking for the one bonus run and knowing that Gulshan Jah can come in and impact the game in at number 7. I don't really blame him going for that, but there was never a single there. And again, a great piece of keeping. Usman Patel, he really holds a presence of mind to effect that run out.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाट
Skyworth Home Appliances.
Irie is so quick, it was all a blur. I think he's got pretty close to getting home there. Might get just one more look at it if we can. And he's no right to get close to getting home, does he? Because it's gone straight to the keeper. And he's got really, really close. I do think it's a good decision. Let's have a look here. He's only out by, well, 9 inches somehow. Great umpiring from Rashid Riaz. Outstanding work from him. Gets the right decision. And it will be Gulshan Jah who comes to the crease. He will be on strike with the run out being affected at the striker's end. Great glove work. He's been excellent throughout the innings. Usman Patel, as Kuwait have 5 wickets. And it's a big final 15 balls from here.
Yes, Nepal has to capitalise on the final 15 balls. Gulshan Jah particularly has to go from the first ball.
He's a strong ability, doesn't he, young Gulshan Jah, to affect a game and impact a game positively as good running gets them a second with a very short window of time. He often comes in, it's one of his first 3 or 4 balls for 4 or for 6, and this is a nice little window for him to work with.
Yes, it is. He's a very impactful player for Nepal. He can hit long sixes. He has a very good range because he's tall. Anudeep in his 3rd over, doing a terrific job for his team.
Yeah, Kuwait's bowlers have been outstanding. Thuds into the pad. Good running will get a comfortable single, but right now Kuwait don't mind singles. And actually, if you offered them 14 more singles to leave 120 on the board, they'd walk off the field now.
Yeah, they'll happily take it. This has been an outstanding bowling performance by Kuwait.
Yeah, fully agree. And just the plans, everything has been spot on. Just pull it up here. I cannot remember many extras at all. Yeah, just the 3 leg buys. No complaints about that. 1 buy which was unlucky, and then 1 wide in the innings. Really good discipline from Kuwait. For Bertel, he persists to be happy to just take the ones. He will keep the strike. Maybe he's looking to go big in the 19th. Gets us to the end of over number 18. A good one, including the wicket, the run out of Dipender Singh Ari. It's 108 for 5. Who stood out?
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
Skyworth Home Appliances।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
10. Big over this one, the 19th. Nails the Yorker, unlucky, just a bit of width. Gave Bertel the opportunity to flay his arms at it, skews off an outside edge and races to the rope for 4.
Again, a Yorker ball, but it was a bit wide off the off stump. Got the toe end of the bat, running away fine towards third man for a boundary. A much needed boundary for Nepal.
He's a completely different style of bowler, but his consistency at hitting those Yorkers as a spinner reminds me of Isan Khan of Hong Kong. He basically hasn't missed that Yorker when he's gone for it. I know the line was wrong there, as the Nepal fans, as always, enjoying every second. Not sure what they're chanting. They're loving their time here in Muscat, whatever the case. Again, nails the Yorker, but again, this time it squirts away, a bit more of a square drive. Good answer from Bertel, and a good start to the 19th for Nepal. Back-to-back boundaries.
The placement was excellent by Kushal Bertel, opening his face off the bat. It was again a Yorker. Just getting the gap, the placement right. Back-to-back boundaries for Bertel. And there's a bit of chat between the captain and the Kuwaiti fielders. As you can see, the Nepali fans in the media box.
A great crowd now, isn't it? And the atmosphere that's building up is outstanding. We're up there. Come on, we'll stand up. I can give you a wave. Just above the Oman Tel sign there to 116 on the board. Naveen Raj, I understand the concept of bowling these speared in Yorkers at the death. I just wonder would he have been better finishing his spell earlier, given how well he bowled. And he's now going to have a change of angle, changing from around the wicket. He'll come over the wickets. And Bertel looks to go again. Doesn't quite get the timing he would like, and we'll just pick up the single. Gulshan Jazz only going to look at one area here, isn't he? Over long on, maybe a little bit more towards cow corner or straight down the ground. He's going to be looking for 4s and 6s.
Yeah, he has a very good reach. He's a tall guy. His favourite shot is down the ground, and the slog sweep that he plays so well. 9 runs of the first 3 deliveries of the 19th over.
Reminder again, the average first innings score at this main ground across the course of now the 69th T20I here, just a fraction over 150. Nepal are under par. And Gulshan Jha plays an extraordinary stroke. It's going to go all the way for 6 up towards his teammate. Sandeep Lamachani will do the fielding. We spoke about the potential for the youngster to impact the game in a short period of time. Oh, that's a sensational shot.
Yeah, inside out, giving himself room, played it over extra cover into the dugout off the Nepali players. They had to take evasive action.
Who's jumping out of the way there? That's the trainer, is it? You got to take the catch. Come on. Gulshan Jha, big moment. Gets the score up above 120. Still 8 balls to go. Goes again. Oh, even bigger. Brilliance from young Gulshan Jha. Cannot understand why he wasn't up the order at number 6. It matters not now. The impact he's making, well, possibly game-changing.
Yeah, that is what we were talking about, discussing about Gulshan Jha not coming up the order. Back-to-back 6s. First one a bit straighter one, this one a bit squarer, went to the other oval.
He's just got that additional strength and height, and remarkable to think he's still just a teenager, 19 years of age, and he's such an important cog in this.
Booking.com makes trip planning easy, even when your friend group travels in different styles. Be the
one. Tries to go again, fielder out there, over his head, 6, and now 6 more. Outstanding from Gulshan Jah, changing this game, turning it on its head, much to the delight of those Nepal fans. Well, brilliant batting, outstanding batting in fact. Altogether 27 have come from it, and it's just what Nepal needed. They've been behind the 8 ball for this entire innings, but Gulshan Jah with 20 off just 5, allied with a couple of boundaries from Kushal Bertel. Well, it's maybe changing the game in Nepal's favour.
Yeah, the first ball went for boundary. The second ball was hit into the gap. The placement was excellent, and Gulshan Jah 6, 6 and 6, 3 consecutive sixes, getting the total to 135. Still a over remaining for Nepal.
Well, it's audacious batting, isn't it? From an exceptional, prodigious young talent to the highest quality. 20 off 5 on a surface like this has changed the game. Here comes Anudeep. As this one's carted down the ground. That might not be a bad result with the way in which Jah is playing. What can he do with the final 5 balls?
Yes, that is the question for all the Nepali fans. They are in the ground back home in Nepal and around the world. What can Gulshan Jah get off this last 5 deliveries? Couple of 6s and 4s. They can reach 150.
I said it was the trainer that dropped that one off. Gulshan Jah, it was the physio, Lakendra Kumar, wasn't it? Have to name and shame him. Sure, the players will be having some fun with him. Here comes Anudeep round the wicket. And cleaned up. Good strike back from Kuwait. And it is Anudeep who extends his arms, but Bertel taps the gloves of Jah. They know the importance of that cameo, but a great fight back from Anudeep, who again was the player of the match between these two sides in that quadrangular final. Just holds the length back, maybe a slower ball. Outstanding bowling. Good skills from Kuwait.
This is outstanding by Anudeep, rolling his fingers on the ball. Back of the length, slow delivery. Gulshan Jah was too early to his shot. That is why he missed. A good cameo played by Gulshan Jah. 20 of just 6 deliveries with 3 6s. Nepal are now 136 for 6.
Momentum, always such an important factor in whatever format of...
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाट
Throughout this first innings, it's exactly what he does. Great work from the veteran. Well, Stuart Law was very vocal, wasn't he, Paresh, in the build-up to that West Indies series, the Unity Cup, saying he wants to lose the tag, the cardiac kids. I think that might be hanging around a little bit longer, given what we've seen in this first innings. It's been dramatic stuff, as always, from Nepal.
Yes, even though the head coach is Stuart Law, he wants to get rid of the tag, cardiac kids. It is always the cardiac kids that's going to play on the ground.
It's one of the world's great nicknames. I can understand why Stuart Law wants to get rid of it, but the pulse rate is always up, as the heart rate is whenever Nepal play. It's the passion, the excitement, and Kami immediately calls Bertel through for the second, and well, great physical endurance from him, because it is still well over 28-29 degrees there, and you would imagine that he is going to be feeling that heat. He's going to bat through the innings, or close to it now at this stage. Gets back for 2.
Yes, he scored 66 of 55. He was earlier run a ball 36, as I remember. Then he hit couple of 6s and 4s, improved his strike rate.
12th T20 I-50 for Kushal Bertel today. He's not going to end unbeaten. He won't bat through the innings. Maybe just that little bit of fatigue kicking in. He's been cleaned up. Anudeep is ending excellently well. Lovely to see that as well. A pat on the back given to him by young Mohammad Akif Farouk. Good spirit of cricket on show there. And again, I think it's that leg cutter or the back of the hand slower ball. Excellent skills from Anudeep.
Excellent. Only 3 runs given away and 2 wickets taken in the last over. What an over.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित।
Prove to be worth its weight in gold. Very well played. Won't quite bat the innings. And here's Nandan Yadav. Well, look out for the bat speed. There's only going to be one thing attempted here. He's going to try and hit this over the sight screen and up towards the Al Emirat Hills. Might try and hit it to the moon, knowing this young man been working hard in the gym. The final ball of the first innings. Nepal have 139 for 7. What can they get to? Good bat speed on show, but should just be the single. They're going to try take on the second, and a bit of chaos will allow them to get home. Good running and great effort from Sampal Kami to get home for 2. Somehow Nepal have driven up to over 140. It didn't look likely for the vast majority of that first innings, but thanks to an exceptional effort from Gulshan Jha, a good innings, a stable innings from Kushal Bertel, Nepal will finish with 141 for 7. But a special mention for Anudeep, a wonderful effort with the ball from him, 2 for 22. Just the 4 batters got to double figures. A tricky innings for Nepal, Paresh.
Yes, it is. And 66 for Burtel, the highest run scorer. Dipender Singh ID 20, and Gulshan Jha, what a cameo, he played 20 of 6, 141 the total for Nepal, losing 7 wickets.
Yeah, and for the bowlers, well, Anudeep, absolutely the star of the show. Remember, he was the player of the match. Maybe the one surprise, the youngster didn't get his 4th and final over. And Mohammad Aslam, selfless as ever himself. Just the 2 overs for him. He took 1 for 10. It was that big over, though. The 19th from Naveen Raj. Maybe the only misstep that Aslam and Kuwait made in that entire first innings. That has proved very costly indeed and driven Nepal up to 141 for 7. We'll get a look at the highlights here, Paresh, and you can guide us through them. It was really turgid stuff right from the off, as Asif Sheikh was the first to fall.
Yeah, he played across the line. This was a good shot by Kushal Burtel for a 6. 2 sixes for him in the initial stages in the power play. Nepal started off well after losing Asif Sheikh. Plenty of boundaries for Kushal Burtel, and this was Rohit Patel, a neat touch, played it late, a square drive leaning to the shot.
Yeah, 3 boundaries he had altogether before he was cleaned up. 1 of 2 Yorkers that just proved too good from Naveen Raj. It's a great skill to have with that box of all sorts. Jora's innings was a bit disappointing, didn't think that was a good option against Mohammad Aslam, and then it took over 10 overs to see the next boundary. That was all the way in the 17th over. It went to Dipender Singh Airi, then Kushal Bertel got into the act. He hit 3 4s and 3 6s in total. Dipender Singh Airi, well, even with his speed, couldn't quite get home. And then this was the over. It maybe has changed the game, because altogether it went for 27, which in an innings that only made 140 is remarkable. And Gulshan Jha, with those 3 sixes, batting of the highest quality.
Yes, it was back-to-back 6s at the right spot. Over extra cover, over covers. Those shots are very difficult to play.
And incredibly from 3 different lengths as well. The final over, though, it did belong to Anudeep. It only went for 6 and it had 2 wickets in it. He was ever so good. Picked up the big wickets of both Jha and Bertel, and it means that at the halfway stage, as we get just a short respite, remember it's only a 10-minute break in between the innings here, Nepal are already out there fielding. I need a bit of a lie down, let alone a break. Kuwait are going to need 142 to win this opener in Group B. Don't go anywhere too far. It's live, it's free. We're here on ICC TV. Can Nepal start with a win, or will Kuwait make it 2 from 2 this year against them? They'll need 142 in about 5 minutes' time.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक।
Skyworth Home Appliances.
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
यो डाक्टर नवीनको सधैँ नयाँ चमकदार देखिने घर जसको सबै छिमेकीले गुनासो मात्रै गर्छ कसैको नयाँ घर हेरेर घाँटी बाङ्गिएको गुनासो सबै हैरान आए लिएर गुनासोको चाम
छोरा जन्मिँदा घरमा एसियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन लगाएको त्यति नै हो
यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
Hotel booking अब e-सेवाबाटै 2000 plus hotels all across Nepal. Hotels with the best pools. Relax, retreat, rejuvenate. Hotels for everyone. Escape to a holiday without the hassle. अब hotel booking पनि e-सेवाबाटै.
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह
स्काईवर्थ होम एप्लायन्सेस
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह
स्काईवर्थ होम एप्लायन्सेस
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साह
निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक।
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको उत्साह। Red Bull
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै Red Bull।
Skyworth Home Appliances.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल।
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक।
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै Red Bull।
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै Red Bull।
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेटको
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै Red Bull।
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद।
पञ्चकन्या बाथवेयर लग्जरी मेड अफोर्डेबल।
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT।
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल।
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक।
Skyworth Home Appliances.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै Red Bull।
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद।
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल।
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
Well, quite beautiful. Oman Cricket Academy grounds here in Al Emirat. We're all set for the third and final match of the first day. We've seen a highly entertaining and an ebbing and a flowing first day of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Asia EAP qualifier, the combined regions coming together to decide the final three spots. We know 17 of the places for next year's T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka. We're waiting to find out the final three, and we'll find them over the course of the next 10 days. Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani. We've got Clinto Anto alongside Rajiva Sandrawan to open the batting for Kuwait. Looks like Sampal Kami's going to take the new ball. Paresh, good evening to you. 141 on the board for Nepal. Will it be enough?
It's a very tricky score. If they bowl well, they will defend the target, but they have to bowl in the right areas, what Kuwait did in the first innings.
Slip in place. We're all set for the second innings. Let's go. Immediate aggression, real aggression from Clinto Anto. Is that a sign that Kuwait have identified to chase this total down? They're going to have to go hard in the power play?
Yeah, I think that is the case. And you can see the field. There's a deep sweeper cover in the boundary line on the offside, and the other boundary rider is deep square leg. The two fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle in the power play.
Yeah, gone with the split field, hasn't he? So the sort of a deep point in place and then a deep square leg. That means that the third and fine leg have to be up in the circle. And Rajiva Sandarawan, probably a bit more of a 50 over player, tends to like to get in, but he could play that Kushal Bertel role, try and anchor this innings for Kuwait. And what Nepal will try to do on the reverse side of that is try and bowl as many dot balls as possible. Nepal's fielding will be under the microscope. It was exceptional in the second match of the Unity Cup against the West Indies, and then it was quite poor actually in the third game.
Yeah, there were a couple of drop catches in the third game against West Indies. They have to have a point to prove in the fielding sector that they are extremely good.
And they've got to outfield their opposition. I thought Kuwait on the whole were pretty good in the field and did really well in that first innings. Slip comes out of place and Bertel almost creates a run-out opportunity. Well backed up too by Dipender Singh Hairi. Live wires in the field. If you are just tuning in for the first time, you're welcome along to the coverage. We'd love to hear from you. We just got out amongst the Nepal fans there in between the innings. 3, maybe 400 or 500 of them in here at the Oman Cricket Academy. But we'd love to hear from where you're watching from. Use that hashtag T20 World Cup. Tell us where you're watching from, which part of the world, how you're enjoying the action, and who you think's going to win. Might read a few of those messages out if we get some time. Oh, now this is going to be number one. It's just skidded on. Not a good looking shot at all. And the off stump has gone for a walk, and Sompal Kami will celebrate.
Exceptionally good bowling by Sompal Kami. Bowling right on the good areas. That is what in the first innings the Kuwaiti bowler did. What Farooq did. That is what Sompal Kami has done this evening. Pitched on off stump. The ball rattling the off stump. Skidded on. The batsman had no clue about the ball.
Well, it wasn't the right shot, was it? It's a shot that should have been a back foot punch. And for what, the 7th, 8th, maybe 9th time in the 2 games we've done here at this ground today, Paresh, a batter's dismissed trying to play across the line.
Yes, never play across the line when the ball is moving around. You have to play straight with a straight bat.
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टॉप सब ठीकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
Meet Babster is a class act. A really stylish player too, the left-hander. You could see Sompal Kami pumped up. It must have been a very touch and go call as to whether to go with Kami or Nandan Yadav or Karan KC. It was probably only sort of 2 of the 3 that could play. KC's the one who missed out. And KC will be watching on. His great friend Sompal Kami, who he loves so much, has already probably justified that selection decision. This was a great delivery, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Pitch on off stumps, hurried to the batsman. Yeah, like you said, Lenny, trying to play across the line. Nothing shot.
It's a straight. It's almost as though he hasn't picked the ball up particularly well. And surprise, anyone who's played against Sompal Kami knows he's not particularly tall, but he's very skiddy. He always gets it to skid on. I don't think it kept as low as Sandra Owan was indicating. Great bowling from the veteran. That one is going to miss the leg stump and nearly creates a right chance for Hairi. Great piece of backing up. I think it's Bertel on the far side who does so well to save any overthrows. It's going to be 2 runs from the first over. It's chaos out there. The cardiac kids are at it again. And it's 2 for 1 at the end of the first. Yeah, missing leg stump too.
Definitely missing leg stump. A good first over by Sompal Kami. A wicket and just 2 runs of it. 1 is a leg by. 1 from the bat.
अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल.
Place I hold so fondly in my heart as Nandan Yadav is going to open things up from the Oman LNG end. Got a little bit of a tweak of a side or maybe a kind of the top of his lower back in that first match of the Unity Cup. Only bowled the one over, did take a wicket and then was rested for the rest of the series as a precaution. He's a very important player these days. Starts with a big wide outside the off stump, just as I say that. But use that hashtag T20 World Cup. Hashtag T20 World Cup. Tell us where you're watching from, who you think's going to win, and maybe who the 3 qualifiers are going to be. Love to hear which part of the world you're enjoying the action from. If you want to get in touch with me directly, at Cricket Badge on either Twitter or Instagram, we'll read a couple of the questions out. I'm sure you all have questions from my old friend Paresh Lahani, who's alongside me. Good atmosphere building up here now, Paresh.
Yes, it is. The Nepali fans cheering the team. First wicket taken by Sompal Kami in the field. There's a third man and deep backward square leg.
There's a bit of movement, isn't there? We saw Kami bringing it back into the left-hander, and again the same. Don't think they'll want to take on any of the Nepal fielders, even Sandeep Lamachani out there who does enough. It's another leg by. For Kuwait, who did so much brilliantly well in that first innings, it was probably just that 19th over has taken a bit of their momentum away. They still would have been happy enough with 140 at the start of the innings, potentially.
Yes, they would have been happy with 140 on board. The target is 142. The 19th over, 27 runs coming off it. And the last over, 2 wickets and just 6 runs.
They gave it away and then fought back, didn't they, in 2 different final overs, the 19th and the 20th. Significant movement, isn't there? And Rashid Riaz has a long think and I think ends up with the right decision. I think that was outside the guideline. Really has swung though.
Yes, this is a good decision by Rashid Riaz, a very experienced umpire from Pakistan. It's pretty hard for Nandan Yadav to adjust the right and left hand combination. That is why he bowled the first ball, trying to angle the ball away from the left hander, went way wide, and this time around getting that movement away from the right hander.
Now this one probably cross seam because it didn't swing at all, just struggling to control the scale of movement potentially.
This is a good start by Nepal, taking the wicket in the first over. Clinto Anto on 1 of 2, whereas Papsar yet to open his account.
Definite movement, well adjusted by Clinto Anto. Having lost that wicket and seeing the movement, do Kuwait almost maybe need to readjust their approach? It seemed like they were sent out with a lot of intent.
Maybe the first wicket went down, it was a nothing shot. That is why the approach probably has changed now. It's not a big target, but you have to get those runs to get a victory out of it.
Chip down the ground, not in complete control, but a very good shot, and just extends the arms and will get 4. Bavsar will hold a lot of keys to this chase for Kuwait, and that's a sparkling stroke, the full blade of the bat shown, and that's the key difference.
And even the bottom hand coming off the bat, hit it straight down the ground, straight as an arrow, with a straight bat. And that is the way you should play the swinging ball or the moving ball, not play across the line.
It's something I suppose we're saying again and again throughout the course of the innings. The surface is a little slow, there is movement out there. If you go at it with a cross bat, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You even think of those 3 sixes from Gulshan Jah. Okay, you can say they were over the extra cover region, but that was a straight bat that he was extending through with. And the other sixes, the other profit areas we've seen, have tended to be straight down the ground.
That is what we discussed about from the first game in this particular ground. Kuwait Qatar versus UAE. Whoever plays across the line, they get out. Even in the first inning, Asif Sheikh, for example, he tried to play across the line, was plumb in front.
Again, plays straight, but a good piece of fielding. One-handed pickup from Kushal Bertel, who, well, if anything, he's elevated his fielding up towards that sensational level of Dipender Singh Airi. Hard to split the two of them at the moment, particularly right now. End of the second over, 10 for 1. And what a great atmosphere we have. Entirety of this main grandstand, the media centre.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Special celebrations like
Gives himself room outside the leg stump. Clinto Anto continues with his aggression. Already heard from fans in Canberra watching at 4 o'clock in the morning. What? How are you staying up? He says he's starting his work shift, Vijay Pragya, at 6 a.m. I don't think you're going to sleep at this rate, my friend. Great to see the passion from every corner of the world. Lots of fans watching on from Nepal. We've messages from Birgunj, from Lalitpur, from all across, from Pokhara as well, from down in Bairoa. Some thuds into the pad. Kami looks to me to be bowling a good pace here, as quick as Nandan Yadav, both up in that sort of 135 kilometre an hour range, I'd imagine.
Kami is not that tall, but he skids the ball. He gets the ball to skid through the surface, and the grass is helping him. Nandan Yadav, on the other hand, is a quick. He uses his shoulder at the last moment. That is why he gets that bounce.
Nice little shape in, but they'll get through for the single. Do have a great question for you, Paresh. I think Bipin Gimir for this. He says, despite Nepal's rich legacy of quality left-arm spinners, why do our top-order batsmen for Nepal still struggle against them and end up tasting their own medicine? It has been a bit of a trend of late, hasn't it? Nepal struggling against left-arm spin.
Yes, it has been, and the key factor to that is they are regularly playing Lalit Rajbangshi or Shahab Alam or other left-armers in Nepal. They should get some left-arm spinners from India, or go to India and play left-arms with different left-arm spinners.
Big swing and a miss. Anto is only being sent out to do one thing, and another shot across the line, not affected. In reference to the left-arm spin in the first innings, there was 5 overs of it, and it was effective, just 1 for 26 from those 5 overs. The surprise for me was Yasin Patel didn't bowl his fourth and final, to be honest, but Mohammad Azam bowled nicely too, and then there was also the leg spin from Naveen Raj and Shiraz Sharif. Good start this from Nepal. They're going to need to be at their best. They don't have the power total of 150. Change in the field. Long on goes back. Deep point comes into the circle now. Deep square leg stays out. Swinging away merrily here to not much reward, Clinto Anto.
Yeah, getting that inside edge again, coming down the track, trying to heave that down to long on. Again, trying to play across the line. If you're coming down the pitch, why don't you use a straight bat? Try to hit it over the bowler's head or over mid-off.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That's where you got to go. You've got to bomb it down the ground. I think going square, particularly the fielders out there protecting square, beats the outside edge. Only 3 runs again. It's that skid from Kami, and the score is 13 for 1.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी
धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार। शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
If you lose two, you're out.
Yeah, and it's that simple. There's no doubt about it. Same situation and scenario for Samoa, and the same for whoever loses this match. And then just to explain it a bit further, if you get through your group, you will carry the result through with the other side you qualify with. So if you win 2 and you end up top of the group, you'll obviously have 2 points then with both of those wins, only one of them counting. You'll play 4 more matches in the Super 6. There's an early change to the bowling. Lalit Rajbanshi comes on, and Bertel somehow nearly creates a run-out opportunity, sprawling to his left, diving and throwing in the same motion, but unable to get that throw on target. And then just to finish off the structure, the one game you carry through the result of, and the 4 results against the 2 other groups, top 2 that you'll play against, gives you 5 games in a Super 6 table. Top 3 in that qualify. No semi-finals, no final. Just that simple. And that means that whilst you can battle back, a good start is essential.
Yes, that is what Oman and UAE have done. They have won the first match, both the teams. Whoever wins today, they are in a comfortable position.
Do you mean particularly in this Group B, with Japan to play? Good shot. We've been talking about it again and again. Go straight down the ground. You'll get good reward there. It's the first maximum of the chase. And it's a really good stroke, isn't it? The way in which he extends his arms. Elegant as anything. One of the shots of the day for me.
Yes, it was. Hit it straight down the ground towards the side screen with a straight bat over the mid-off fielder. Like we always discuss about, hitting straight will get you good reward. That is a very good example.
Are you surprised with the change of bowling? I know Nandan Yadav was probably struggling to control the swing, but looked like it was very favourable in terms of seam bowling conditions. Didn't necessarily need the change to spin, particularly with the fact that Rajbanshi's going to have to bowl to the left-hander here. Gets away with that one. That beats the infield. That runs for 4.
It's a packed offside field. There's a short third, backward point, cover point, extra cover, short extra, and mid-off. The 5 fielders inside the circle. Another good hit. There's a chance for the fielder. Taken. Second wicket down. Meet Bhavsar has to depart. Sandeep Zora takes a very neat catch, a comfortable catch at long on.
Now what do I know about the matchups? Left arm spinner to the left-handed batter. We see it again and again. And maybe the change of bowling was a very good one. It might have cost the maximum. But the slight change in angle, it's a canny piece of bowling, isn't it? He's trying to go straighter. He might even be trying to go over long off. But Rajbanshi followed him. Jura takes the catch and he says, look at those lights, they're the brightest I've seen. What a looks quality to them. It's Bhavsar who's got to go back. He's gone for 11 and Nepal have 2 in the power play. How they would love a third. Kuwait 20 for 2.
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइ नेपाल टॉप सब ठीकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह
Floodlights.
And all of a sudden, what was looking like a difficult over for Nepal turns into a good one. End of the 4th, 20 for 2 the score. And that 142 is looking...
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
सनफ्लावर ओइल, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद।
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
TR was there for a TR, I think it was last year. Wonderful vibe in the Kathmandu Valley. Nandan Yadav's going to have a change of ends, maybe have a bit more success controlling the swing from this end as he charges in. All of a sudden, I think Kuwait are probably going to go into consolidation mode, but we haven't seen that from Clinto Anto. He's swung at every ball. What's he going to do?
Yeah, he's been swinging, but swinging across the line. That is why he's been missing the ball, getting those inside edges, getting those gloves. It's very simple. Just watch the ball, try to hit it straight as you can. You'll get good reward.
Yeah, it's probably, it sounds easy from up here. It might be a bit tricky out there. Always easy to watch it from afar and say, oh, just do this. But certainly you're getting good reward down the ground so far today. And for Kuwait, they'll know the importance of this first game. Get a win, and all of a sudden you're thinking about a position of taking 2 points through into the Super 6 and get yourself into a position of really believing that you might be able to qualify for a maiden T20 World Cup. For Nepal, it would be a third T20 World Cup, and remarkably, Sampal Kami, who took that opening wicket, could well play in all three of them if they get there.
Yes, he's the only one who played the 2014, the first ever T20 World Cup Nepal played.
Bit of innovation attempted, and the off stump is rocked back. Nepal now have 3 in the power play. It's another very ambitious stroke. Kuwait's batters not really learning their lessons, and it's a shot yet to get off the mark that, despite fine leg being up in the circle, you have to say is ambitious at best. And Nandan Yadav strikes another good bowling change.
Yes, it was again trying to play across the line, trying to play a ramp behind the keeper's head, not watching the ball. The head was up, completely beaten and bowled by Nandan Yadav. He has to depart for not Patel, the keeper batsman. Kuwait 21 for 3.
I can't imagine that was.
पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या SS ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
Completely swung the game. Nepal, they took the momentum in from the first innings as a consequence, and now they've really picked that up with their bowling here in the second. It's been an inspired performance thus far, and Yasin Patel will come to the crease at number 5. These two will need to build a partnership. Too wide outside the off stump. There is pace there, isn't there, for Nandan Yadav?
And Nandan is trying to bowl across the left-hander, just pushing the ball away. That is why it went away. You can see his wrist position, it's facing towards the third man region. That is why the ball went away from the left-hander. It's good to see that the senior pro Sampal Kami coming to chat with Nandan Yadav, the young fast bowler.
We see a bit of Dipender Singh Airi with the ball. He's looked in great form in terms of his bowling. Good against the West Indies in that first game. Very good in the warm-ups here.
Yes, he'll definitely come and bowl, probably out of power play or inside power play. You never know. He opened the bowling against West Indies in the first game, and even in the second game as well.
Slightly leg-side-ish, and that will allow Yasin Patel to get off the mark. One thing is certain about Kuwait, though, they bat deep and kind of all the way down to number 10. They'll keep coming at Nepal. The challenge is what Nepal are doing, starving the boundaries and bowling dots here in the power play. They're building that required run rate up now. It's starting to push towards 8 runs per over.
The more dot balls Nepal bowl, the more pressure builds up on Kuwaiti batters. Kuwait in trouble, 23 for 3 in the 5th over.
Goes full and straight, takes on Gulshan Jah, who decides against throwing it. He was quite deep there at mid-on, so always an easy single as long as Anto went immediately. It'll get us to the end of the 5th over, and Kuwait are in a bit of trouble, 24 for 3.
लक्ष्य अनेक, energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
Skyworth Home Appliances.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार। शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल।
The 6th, as the T20 game has evolved around for, well, not that much more than 2 decades now on the international scene, almost exactly 20 years. This has turned into a more and more important over, isn't it? Because the batters should have got the pace of the pitch, and it's the final one of the fielding restrictions. Nepal took it for 12 or maybe 14 in the first. Kuwait will need to do the same to start to get up towards that required run rate.
Yes, the 5 ball remaining of the power play. The left arm spinner bowling against the left hand batter. Matchup, we always talk about matchups. He already taken a wicket of a left hander.
Yeah, right on the money. Rohit Powdell, his 50th T20I, just doing the fielding there as captain. Amazing to think of such a young man having led his country through some turbulent times. He probably assumed the captaincy in a way in which he wouldn't have envisaged or imagined, coming to the role at a very young age. This one can't be given out. LBW pitches outside the leg stump as Yasin Patel looks for the sort of sweep around the corner, but he's really grown into the role, hasn't he? And he looks very comfortable as a leader now.
Yes, he has done a terrific job captaining Nepal since 2022.
Also shows the volume of cricket that Nepal are playing these days. Again, pitches outside the leg stump. And you would have to say, probably the Cricket Association of Nepal, alongside some of the other boards, you think of the Ugandan Cricket Association, Kuwait themselves, Qatar, a lot of these boards are doing a really good job at getting games outside of the official ICC or ACC pathways, at getting bilateral tournaments. As the slog sweep comes out, and it's going to go over the head of Dipender Singh Airi. We said there'd be some attack in the 6th over. There indeed is. It comes from Yasin Patel, and Rajbanshi's hit for the second 6 of his spell.
Talking about matchups, this is a good clean hit by Yasin Patel towards square leg for a 6. Nicely picked up, slog sweep. He tried that shot earlier, he missed it. This time around he got the mid of the bat.
Question will be, does he look to go again? Big gap at mid wicket. Deep backward square is out, long on is out. Can't go again because Rajbanshi bowls flatter through the air, so it's again 7 from his over. He's got 1 for 14. Kuwait 31 for 3 at the end of 6.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
नेपाल टप सब ठीक ठाक।
सनफ्लावर ओइल, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
A slog sweep by Yasin Patel in the last over of the power play. which went for 7 runs. After 6, Kuwait are 31 for 3, and there's a bowling change.
And a big cheer as well, because Sandeep Lamachani will come into the attack. He starts very well. Nice drift and a bit of turn away. A lot written about the reasons and the fact that he wasn't involved in the West Indies series. Was there on the first day, but didn't end up in the playing 11. And Stuart Law came out and said he missed the first game for personal reasons and then wasn't with the squad for the last 2 games. But he's now back in his national colours, and he is hoisted high into the air towards long on, and it's dropped. Burst through the hands of Nandan Yadav. And we spoke about the importance of Nepal's fielding. That should have been taken. Lamachani should have celebrated his return to the national team with a wicket second ball. Instead it goes for 6.
Yeah, he should have taken that. He was really comfortably under the ball, but it burst it through the hands.
Back live with you now. Goes flatter, goes with the googly. Yeah, one thing I know about Kuwait from covering so many of their games, they will continue to attack even if they lose 5, 6, 7 wickets. They have hitters all the way throughout their lineup. Big moment in the game, that the biggest swing we have really in our sport, a wicket or a maximum.
That is where Nepal has to.
You got to show their quality, Paresh, don't they, in the field?
Yes, they have to. Not only 3 or 4 players, but all 10, including the keeper. They have to feel well.
And I suppose that's where historically there's been a bit of weakness from the likes of Lalit Rajbanshi, who does work very hard at his fielding, maybe Lamachani himself, but you'd have expected Nandan Yadav to take that very catchable opportunity. But instead it just burst through his hands. It almost felt like he didn't get a touch on it. It just kind of went straight through them.
It looked like he was under the ball very comfortably in the first instant, but I don't know however he missed the catch. Probably the light was not the issue, the floodlight was not the issue.
Yeah, he won't have been looking directly into either of the 2 big pylons there from the angle that it came at, so don't think it should be a floodlight issue, but either way, just misjudging the depth of it as Lamachani comes round the wicket now. Swept around the corner, but there is protection down there, so it will be 10 runs from Lamachani's first, the best over of the chase for Kuwait. The score 41 for 3.
हरेक लक्ष्य को आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार। शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
At number 9, but they'll just keep coming and coming and coming at Nepal.
That is where Nepal should capitalize. There's a bowling change. Dipender Singh Airi, the offie, comes into the attack to the left-hander, Yashin Patel.
This is a good move. Irie is interested with an LBW appeal. His initial instinct was to go for the piece of fielding to the leg side. That won't have been far away. Won't have missed leg stump by much, this. You feel like these 4 overs, or potential 4 overs of Irie, are very important. When he's good with the ball, he's exceptional, isn't he? He can go at sort of 3.5, 4 runs and over. And they need that from him tonight.
And he bowls very quick through his overs. Coming round the wicket to the right-hander as well.
He simply does everything on fast forward. And the problem is he's so quick between his deliveries, so quick at fielding off his own bowling. He can bowl an over against you in a flash before you even know it's got through you as a batting pairing. And I think he's bowling as well as he's ever bowled. And Look at the way he becomes a 12th fielder. They take him on, run out opportunity. Oh, and so nearly the fourth wicket. Irie sprinted 30 yards and picked up and threw in one motion. It's not 11 fielders out there when Irie's about, it's 12.
He is a live wire in the field. Look at him go after the ball.
You've got to recognise your fielder there if you're Kuwait. This is close as well. Direct hit. Oh, might have been gone. Great umpiring from Phil Gillespie, who gets the right decision. Asif Sheikh appealing to the wrong side. And again, flat through the air. He'll again field off his own bowling. Does Dipender Singh Irie know that other players are allowed to get involved in the game, or he just does it all himself?
He's so quick that he can cover the 30-yard circle by himself. He doesn't need any other fielders.
Literally can't he? Remarkable efforts and energy and enthusiasm and passion for the game. Good start from Irie. Just going to be 4 from his first over. That's what Nepal needed after a big 10-run over off Lamachani. End of the 8th. It's 45 for 3.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Skyworth Home Appliances
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
T20 auction for Kuwait players. Lamachani's cut away for a single. Mohammad Aslam, the captain, he went for 14,000 to the Sharjah Warriors. Mohammad Shafiq, who we saw bowl so well there in the first innings, he went for 10,000 to the MI Emirates. Bilal Tahir to the Desert Vipers. Meet Bavsar for 14,000 to the Gulf Giants. Adnan Idris, who is not in the squad, I don't think, went to the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders. And then no surprise to see it was Anudeep Chanthamara off to the Dubai Capitals. So that's a huge development, isn't it? You come in, you start to play with some of the best players in the world, you go into really professional environments. They might not play every game, but whatever exposure they get is going to help Kuwaiti cricket.
Yeah, it would surely help their development of in their particular game as well.
What was the talk back in Nepal about Sandeep Lamachani missing out on those games? I think most Nepal fans obviously want him in the 11. It was a big surprise to see him not playing there.
Yeah, that is what the head coach Stuart Law in the press conference said, that because of personal reason that he didn't play. Apart from that, we don't know anything.
Back into the 15, straight into the 11. Looks in good rhythm to me. As he's pumped down the ground, good place to hit here. And it's going to be one bounce and fly for 4. Great footwork. In fact, it's going to go all the way for 6. Would like another look at that. Thought it might have just bounced once in front of the rope. Giving us a maximum.
Yeah, again, coming down the track, hitting it straight.
Just out of our camera shot. Maybe just cleared the rope. Indeed, Phil Gillespie had no hesitation in raising the arms aloft. Much more like it. Maybe this angle will tell us. Get a look here. Come back live now. So again, he goes straight down the ground. Equation starting to become more manageable. That 6 brought the 50 up, Paresh.
Yes, it sure did. And Nandan Yadav dropped the catch off Clinton Anto. Yeah, it cleared the rope.
I knew it bounced on grass. Didn't know it was just over the rope. As they won't get the single here. Another expensive over for Nepal. Kuwait coming into this chase. A good little 4th wicket partnership brewing up. 9 from it. It's 54 for 3.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
पञ्चकन्या बाथवेयर लग्जरी मेड अफोर्डेबल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT.
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल.
Warm-ups, plenty of options. Rohit Paudel too, the skipper. They tend to I can't remember a game where they've only gone with 5 bowlers in recent times.
Yeah, they have plenty of options for the captain Rohit. He can come and roll his arms. Kushal Malla is there. Even Gulshan Jai is a very good quick bowler.
Forgot to mention Kushal Bertel as well. Of course, who was again in wicket-taking form. I suppose with Lamachani back in, he might be used a little bit less with the ball, although again those two operated very well in tandem in St Vincent in the T20 World Cup, where, well, Bertel was close to unplayable, 4 wickets against South Africa. I thought he bowled so well. Was it the first game, or probably the second game, wasn't it, against the West Indies? And some of the catching as well. Gulshan Jam, magnificent. Oh, they're going to take on Irie. Run out chance. Direct it. Gone. You run at your peril to this man. Oh, out comes the cartwheel. And he's nailed the landing to go with it. Outstanding fielding, outstanding celebrations. It's the one, it's the only. Tapendra Singh Irie.
Yeah, his celebration is so unique. He cartwheels of his own bowling, a direct hit. There was no single whatsoever in that occasion. Oh, hits the stump.
Now keep your eyes on the celebrations. They might be even better than the run out. He says thank you very much. Off he goes, up and down, nails the landing. 10 out of 10 from me. Oh, you've got to love it. It's going to take us to the drinks break. The cardiac kids raising the pulses again. Clinto's gone for 26. It's 56 for 4.
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक.
sunflower oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक. एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
sunflower oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद.
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ. जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको. लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक. एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
sunflower oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद.
यो डाक्टर नवीन को सधैँ नयाँ चमकदार देखिने घर, जसको सबै छिमेकीले गुनासो मात्रै गर्छ. कसैको नयाँ घर हेरेर घाँटी बाङ्गिएको गुनासो. सबै हैरान आए लिएर गुनासोको चाम.
छोरा जन्मिँदा घरमा एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन लगाएको त्यति नै हो.
यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा. घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर, वर्षौं वर्ष.
Hotel booking अब इसेवाबाटै. 2000 plus hotels all across Nepal. Hotels with the best pools. Relax, retreat, rejuvenate. Hotels for everyone. Escape to a holiday without the hassle. अब hotel booking पनि इसेवाबाटै.
sunflower oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ. जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको. लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक. एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
Skyworth Home Appliances.
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि.
Greece. He's at the non-strikers end, the skipper, Mohammad Aslam, because that's where the run-out was affected. You have to love the energy and the joy that Tapendra Singh Irie and indeed many of this Nepal team bring to the game. How difficult was it to execute a run out like that off your own bowling as well?
It's actually very difficult, and to be honest, there was no run in that. He just ran blindly.
It's one of those ones as well, a little bit like the chance they nearly gave him trying to run two to him off his own bowling. It's just bad recognition of the fielder. You should know it's Dipendra Singh Iree, so you know you don't risk that single. With due respect, if that's a Karen KC, you might say, okay, yeah, we'll take it on. We'll find a way to hustle home for one. Here's the skipper. He's a very fine cricketer, both with bat and ball, and he'll have a role to play here. But it's a tricky position. They need 8.5 runs per over because at the halfway stage of this chase, it's 57 for 4.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
नेपाल टॉप सब ठीक ठाक
Skyworth Home Appliances.
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
On this particular pitch, with the style in which Bertel bowls, you might be tricky, could get a few to skid on.
Yes, that is what Navin Raj did for Kuwait, the skiddy leg spinners that he bowled.
Starts with a loose one, but there isn't much bounce in the surface, so it isn't punished and put away. Yasin Patel will probably have to find a way with Mohammad Aslam to get this scoreboard moving, because to get 10, 11, 12 runs per over towards the death here, not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. 4 wickets are already back in the hut. And Kushal Bhurtel has the second best strike rate in T20Is.
Oh, Bertel nearly ran across the non-striker there. Might have fancied his chances of getting towards it. For Nepal, would there have been nerves today? I know the preparation couldn't have been any better. A series win over the West Indies, couple of wins in the warm-ups, and what seems like a very happy and stable squad under Stuart Law, who's come in and done a great job. But there will have been nerves with the scale of the prize and the pressure that is always going to be in these qualifiers.
Yeah, the qualification is in stakes, so each and every team, they will have nerves. We saw that in the first game here in this ground. UAE chasing a mere total of 119. There were nerves as well.
They got themselves in a real tangle, didn't they? Required a very good fourth wicket partnership to pull it out of. The fire for them. It's one of those ones, I think, again, if you haven't watched the match, you say, oh, well, the UAE have won that comfortably. Really wasn't the story for probably, well, maybe 10, if not 15 overs of the chase. Starts to get his length a bit better.
4 singles in the first 4 deliveries of Kushal Bhurtel's first over. The required rate is inching towards 9. It's 8.68 at the moment.
Just have a bit of breaking Nepal Premier League news, I suppose, with so many Nepal fans watching. I think this is official. One of the first overseas signings of Season 2 of the Nepal Premier League, George Munsey of Scotland, going to go to the Biratnagar Kings alongside Sandeep Lamachani. Didn't play the first season, so great to have him in for the second year. Well, what a cricketer he is. He's in the best form of his career.
Yes, he is, and he's been scoring runs.
Scoring runs for fun at the moment in ODI cricket in particular. Such a good record. Going to be 6 singles from Kushal Bhurtel's first over. Not the best one. A little bit all over the place with his lengths, but gets away with it. End of the 11th, 63 for 4. Yeah, that second edition of the Nepal Premier League. There'll be more than a few cricketers here from some of the associate sides hoping to put themselves in the shop window for that.
Laksha Anek, Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
Sunflower oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद. एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल.
The attack, the captain coming round the wicket. What's the plan here? Why is Dipender Singh Ari being taken out of the attack as they get back for a second?
Probably he's going to bowl the death overs. That is why Rohit Paudel himself coming into the attack.
You would suspect that Kuwait might recognise this as an over to attack. And that's exactly what the captain of Kuwait has done. Picks up a brace of twos to begin with.
Yes, swept it into the gap on the leg side. 2 runs taken. Was not in control but got the gap. Ran hard for the second one.
Down the ground and straight to the man. Well, that's why Rohit Paudel's brought himself into the attack. It's to get rid of his opposite number. It's another inspired bowling change. I think it's the 4th that's resulted in a wicket immediately. And the captain himself has a big smile on his face as you can understand why Mohammad Aslam's gone after him. The right matchup, all he could do was pick out, I think it's Kushal Bertel, is it, down there at long on?
Yes, it was a simple catch to him. Whatever Rohit Paudel touches, it's turning into gold at the moment for Nepal.
Yeah, you're spot on, and it's that trademark. I love that celebration he's got. He kisses the ball, sends a love up to the fans. Good change of bowling. It's a big wicket. Aslam's gone for 7, and Nepal are very pleased all of a sudden with their position. 61 for 5.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन. आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाई नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै.
Skyworth Home Appliances.
We're speculating about will be Shiraz Khan, the leg spinner, down at number 8. There is still batting to come for Kuwait, but just regularly losing wickets, and Nepal's fielding's not been at its very best, but it's applying enough of a chokehold alongside some skillful bowling to have them on top at the moment. Will that old Achilles heel of the struggles at the death with their death bowling maybe come back to haunt them, or can they close us out, Paresh?
Well, Kami had a very good first spell.
Oh, he's nearly created another run-out chance to Dipender Singh Ari. I think the thing that constantly surprises batters is his speed to the ball, yes, but then the pace of the release. And the two of those combined is what makes him such a firecracker, so dangerous in the field, and you just cannot run a single anywhere in his vicinity. And here's it straight out again. Dipender Singh Ari does it once more. 12 have been bowled, 67 for 5, and that task is getting ever taller and steeper for Kuwait. So you see the two Manhattan charts, they've really been dwarfed, haven't they, because of that.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै.
नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक.
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला. यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ.
And he thinks that because it's the two left-handers out there, the best option is get the two off-spinners bowling in tandem. I like what he's doing. thinking through his options, and there also seems to be a willingness from the 11 to adjust to it. Some bowlers would get upset only bowling one over and getting taken off, but Kushal Bertel straight back in the field, takes a catch in the last over, straight back into his work. Nearly finds a way to cut that one off. Said it before, I'm not sure that the production budget will extend to it. I would love a Dipendra Singh Irie cam. Just watch that one dedicated. Here you go.
Almost gets to the ball.
Doesn't quite agree with the line that Bertel is running there and the angle that he's at. He's got to be straighter. Your extra cover fielder shouldn't be getting beaten straight, so he's got to just squeeze in a little bit. I think he's now made that adjustment. One-handed pickup. Gets Lalit Rajbanshi a backward point of all places. Not a position he's usually in.
Yeah, not a place that he usually fields at. And if there's no turn, you have to field a bit straight, like extra cover a bit straighter.
Good work from Bertel. Again, not beaten on his left-hand side, so making that adjustment, learning it, and that I think was kind of compelled upon him by Dipendra Singh Irie. We've barely blinked. This over is almost done. Just 4 singles from it. And Nepal have a real squeeze on. It's another great over. Irie has been exceptional. You might look in the scorebook and say none for 10, but he's really been a change maker in this second innings. And Nepal will race through their overs and continue to apply pressure. That required run rate, Paresh, it's now over 10.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार
Nepal's showing a lot of class here, a lot of experience. They were wobbling really in that first innings until Gulshan Jha came to the crease. I know Kushal Bertel will probably get the plaudits, but I really feel as though Jha was the change maker. Just lost his grip there actually, Rohit Paudel. It wasn't a case of seeing who was coming down the track. Yasin Patel batting in his cap. Always like to see that. Just looks better in the photos, doesn't it, rather than the helmet. Goes over the offside. Good read, really good read from Kushal Bertel, who somehow is going to keep this to a single. Outstanding fielding, nearly creates a run out. And I think it's just as well that Yasin Patel was sent back. Fantastic speed to the ball and another quick release. Wonderful fielding.
A very good anticipation by Kushal Bertel to his right. Sprints to the ball and releases it very quickly as well. Did Rohit Paudel drop the ball? Oh, it was very, very close.
I think a good decision again. Rashid Riaz and Phil Gillespie have been outstanding. Just got back. Could still see a twister, a turn or two from here for Kuwait, but they have to start finding the boundary. They're having that same problem that Nepal had in between this kind of end of power play and 15th, 16th over marker, not able to find the rope with any regularity. Well, that's more like it. Attempted, but is long on, going to nestle underneath it. Yes, he is. And Sandeep Johra is never going to drop that. Another fine fielder. Rohit Paudel is 2. He's got the wicket of Yasin Patel, and Nepal are maybe closing in on a victory here on the opening day.
Yes, a smart catch taken by Sandeep Johra, his second one in this innings. Yasin Patel played 27 deliveries for his 19, has to depart. He tried to hit it straight, but got the height but not the distance. Easy catch for Sandeep Johra.
Yeah, great captaincy, leadership and quality from Rohit Paudel. Just a little slower through the air, wasn't it? Don't think it's Kushal Malla that's taken the catch. We'll need to get that corrected. Definitely Sandeep Jora.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
Under Shiraz Khan will come to the crease. Might see the captain be really selfless here. He so often is. Maybe just bowl these two balls and then get out of his bowling for the day. Turn back to maybe Rajbanshi or Sandeep Lamachani. The Nepal fans are making a real racket here. They're loving every second. Great crowd for the opening day of the tournament and a lovely way to finish what's been 3 really engaging matches.
Yes, it has been the first game played on Oval 2. Oman beating Samoa by 5 wickets. And the second game here in this particular ground, UAE beating Qatar by 7 wickets. At the end of 14, Kuwait 76 for 6.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
To the attack, his was very expensive for the first 2 overs. 9.5 his economy rate.
It's a good crowd in there now, isn't it? Sandeep Lamachani returns to the attack for his third. Googly across the left-hander. Don't think that was picked. Tahir Bilal stuck in the crease. Perfectly landed.
Sandeep can be very lethal in this situation. He bowls that googlies, accurate googlies that pitches and moves away from the left-hander.
Goes for it again. This could be Lamachani's return wicket. Yes, it is. And he takes a moment to give thanks. This time it is Kushal Malla that takes the catch. And lovely to see Gulshan Jah run a long way in to congratulate Lamachani. Those two very close indeed. Bertel with the high five for his fellow leg spinner. Jora with the congratulations too. This game, it's now only heading one direction, and it's heading the direction of the Himalayas.
Yet again another googly bowled by Sandeep Lamachani. Simple catch to Kushal Malla at deep back to square leg. Tahir Bilal, the man who has to depart.
It's always the way Kuwait have played, isn't it? They keep going even when they lose wickets, but to hit square the wicket against the spin, not sure whether he was picking the googlies and the leg breaks and being able to tell them apart. It's a very low percentage shots, and well, Kushal Malla has taken that very comfortably. What?
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित.
Pull off something remarkable. As Naveen Raj is trapped straight in front. It's 2-2. Lamachani's on a hat-trick. Nepal thinking of a big win now.
Like we discussed earlier about Sandeep Lamachani, he enjoys bowling in this situation. He can be very lethal. That is what he's done. Back-to-back wickets. This was dead in front. Plum.
Yeah, I think it's a really good decision from an excellent umpire, Phil Gillespie. And I suppose a touch of redemption too for Sandeep Lamachani. He'll have been nervous, won't he, in the field? First 2 overs having gone for 19, but to come back and strike twice in the over, get back amongst the wickets, it's surely what he was born to do. Take wickets for his nation, Nepal. Back in amongst them. And nice to see him with a smile on his face and doing.
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
There's a slip in place. Kushal Bhurtel is in slips.
There's only been one T20I hat-trick in history for Nepal. That belongs, well, who else could it be but to Karen KC. It came against Papua New Guinea. Lamachani has a chance at it. He's got 2 and 2. Can he make it the perfect 3? He'll be bowling to number 10. Slip comes into place. Cover and mid-wicket hovering. Oh, it is the googly. It was always going to be the googly. But well kept out by Anudeep.
And the length was a bit shorter. He could have bowled a bit fuller and tossed it up. And nevertheless, back-to-back wickets for Sandeep Lamachani. A very good comeback over for him.
Yeah, really good. Maybe thinking of a double or triple wicket made in the way he's going. Another googly kept out, just watched by Anudeep. And Nepal are thinking, well, not just to the 2 points, they're now thinking, hold on, if Kuwait go through this group, can we make this a 40 or a 50 run win? If they do, they'll get a good net run rate boost to go alongside it, and it would be a dream start. Oh, what a beauty that is. I'm not quite sure what they're appealing for. Is it LBW? Is it caught behind, or is it maybe stumped? I think it's beaten everything. The perfect leg break. You won't see a better one bowled. When it's a double wicket maiden, it somehow misses everything.
Yes, it was a flatter one, but turned viciously. Missed everything, missed the bat, missed the pad.
It's hard to bowl a better leg break than that. The drift and the angle in, it's pitched probably, around middle and leg stump even, just to confirm the side-on appeal also correctly given, not out. He did take it was all happening. Caught behind appeal, stumping appeal, neither given as Lalit Rajbanshi returns.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Skyworth Home Appliances.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार। शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
Yeah, I think the attack complements each other really beautifully. It's so balanced. And they're all quite different, if that makes sense. Okay, yes, Lalit Rajbanshi and Kushal Malla both bowl left-arm spin. It's completely different. Rohit Paudel, Dipender Singh Ari, both bowl off-spin. Completely different. Lamachani, Kushal Bhurtel, both leg-spin. Completely different styles. And that's why you've got 6 options there. We haven't even mentioned Gulshan Jha, Sampal Kami or Nandan Yadav, who again are all 3 very different types of seamers. So 9 bowlers I've just mentioned there, and every one of them can be a threat. It can put pressure on the opposition, and it's a really nice position to be in as a captain.
Yeah, all the nine bowlers with different dynamics. Talking about Sampal Kami, he skids the ball. Talking about Nandan Yadav, he gets that bounce. He has pace. Even Gulshan Jha can bowl in a pace.
In a funny way, it must be a relief that Sandeep Jura doesn't bowl too much, because otherwise you'd have 10 options up your sleeve as Rohit Patel.
Even Asif Sheikh can take off his pads and come and bowl.
Now that's a bridge too far, Paresh. Still 8 balls to go. Goes again. Oh, even bigger! Brilliance from young Gulshan Jha. Cannot understand why he wasn't up the order at number 6. It matters not now. The impact he's making, well, possibly game-changing.
Yeah, that is what we were talking about, discussing about Gulshan Jha not coming up the order. Back-to-back sixes. First one a bit straighter one, this one a bit squarer, went to the other oval.
He's just got that additional strength and height, and remarkable to think he's still just a teenager, 19 years of age, and he's such an important cog in this Nepal batting lineup. I think he's got to get up to number 6, but he's having a big impact here at the death. Pressure, real pressure now on Navin Raj. This over's already gone for 21. Tries to go again, fielder out there, over his head. 6, and now 6 more. Outstanding from Gulshan Jha, changing this game, turning it on its head, much to the delight of those Nepal fans. Well, brilliant batting, outstanding batting in fact. Altogether 27 have come from it, and it's just what Nepal needed. They've been behind the 8 ball for this entire innings, but Gulshan Jha with 20 off just 5, allied with a couple of boundaries from Kushal Patel. Well, it's maybe changing the game in Nepal's favour.
Yeah, the first ball went for boundary, the second ball was hit into the gap, the placement was excellent, and Gulshan Jha 6, 6 and 6, 3 consecutive sixes, getting the total to 135. Still a over remaining for Nepal.
Well, it's audacious batting, isn't it? From an exceptional, prodigious young talent to the highest quality. 20 off 5 on a surface like this has changed the game. Here comes Anudeep. As this one's carted down the ground. That might not be a bad result with the way in which Jha is playing. What can he do with the final 5 balls?
Yes, that is the question for all the Nepali fans. They are in the ground side.
That one's hit the bat. He's desperate for wickets, isn't he? Always hungry to take wickets like any good leg spinner.
Yes, he is missed out on 3 T20Is in Sharjah. This is a comeback tournament for him. Has taken 2 wickets already.
Looks like he's found a nice rhythm now. They're going to try and run an overthrow here. Jha's throw goes to the keeper's end and they will get home.
We often don't see this overthrows by Nepal. Four runs off the last over of Sunday Lamichhane. Last ball to go.
Another googly. It was always going to be a googly. He'll finish his 4 over allocation. Great return given his first 2 overs, none for 19. He finishes with 2 for 22 from his 4, and Kuwait 82 for 8.
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
Special celebrations like झन्नै special बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
As Rajbanshi as number 9. And now it's going to be all over, bar the shouting. Good glove work from Asif Sheikh to hold on to a sharp catch right off, I think maybe the toe end of the bat of Shiraz Khan. Rajbanshi has his second. Nepal of 9.
Very smart catch taken by the keeper Asif Sheikh. It was quicker through the air, Lalit Rajbangshi. Yeah, you're right, Lenny. It was toe end of the bat. Rashid Riaz, the umpire, no hesitation to give it out. Shiraj Khan has to depart for 3. It's all done and dusted for Kuwait. They are 9 down for just 82 runs.
And a remarkable performance.
Top, sab thik thak.
Sunflower oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक. एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
Sunflower oil, मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद.
Nepal top, sab thik thak.
Dominated the vast majority then of this second innings as the youngster comes out at number 11. Daunting task for him. Just try to get Anu deep onto strike to see if he can hit a few boundaries. But Kuwait are going to go down to defeat here. So nearly from that delivery it was all over. And what's more, particularly if Kuwait end up beating Japan and coming through to the Super Sixes alongside Nepal, presuming that Nepal of course can get past Japan, they'll take a good 2 points and a net run rate boost into that Super 6. So an ideal start for Nepal and what looks like it's pretty tricky batting conditions overall here at the main oval.
Very well bowled by Lalit. Word cut out for Kuwait. Farooq, the number 11 batter for Kuwait. He bowled very well in his first spell in the first innings.
Worked into the leg side, should just get the single, so he'll get off the mark. We've no doubt that the vast majority of Nepal is watching this match and enjoying the action, and we do have to give a shout out to Paris Kadka, the secretary of the Cricket Association of Nepal, who is watching on. He's just posted a tweet with an amazing photo from Sajan Lamachani, the official Cricket Association of Nepal photographer. It looks like he's levitating in mid-air, Dipender Singh Airi, and he says, "What sport are we playing?" Brilliant. I'll give that a retweet. That is absolutely brilliant. End of the 18th over, 83 for 9. Rajbanshi ends with excellent figures. He's got 2 for 17. And Nepal, you remember, the second highest ranked side in this qualifier, no doubt will have had some nerves coming into today, particularly with the bat in that first innings.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक. एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
Skyworth Home Appliances.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
As it does loop up, and it's going to be a wicket, and fittingly it'll be Dipender Singh Airi that takes the catch. It rounds out well, close to a pitch perfect performance, certainly with the ball anyway, just the one drop catch in the field. Some real highlight moments, particularly provided by the Tiger himself with that world class run out, as good as you'd ever want to witness. Nepal ultimately proving a bit too good for Kuwait, who had their moments, particularly in the first innings. But it's the dream start in a tournament structure and format that you have to get off to a good start in. Nepal win by 58 runs.
Yes, and a very big margin of win. Simple catch to Airi, the last wicket. Handshakes all around. Nepal winning the game by 58 runs, a big margin. That will boost their net run rate.
And on the whole, you would have to say between the two innings the right result. They have outplayed Kuwait, who definitely, I thought they were so good with the ball and so impressive with their bowling plans. They generally fielded pretty well too. But as the teams go off to shake hands, the two support staffs are already doing that on the sideline. Rohit Paudel pats Kushal Bertel on the back and says, thank you for your runs, and indeed that winning moment to the wicket. 26 for Clinto Anto, who really kept trying to swing away merrily, and double figures for Meet Bavsar and Yasin Patel. The rest, nothing to speak of.
Yes, it was a very poor performance by Kuwait. Sorry, reading scorecard. Bowling cards, Sompal Kami, a wicket for Nandan Yadav as well. 2 wickets for Lalit and Sandeep. 2 wickets for Rohit Paudel, the captain. Kushal Bertel chipping up with 1.
Yeah, and certainly a kind of all-round bowling performance that will give Stuart Law and Rohit Paudel a very, very pleasing end to the evening. They've had a few wobbles, but let's get a look at the very best of it, starting with that Sompal Kami wicket.
Yeah, this was the shot played by the batter across the line. Straight hit. You get reward when you hit it straight, like you see here. That hit for a 6. Ladit Rajbangshi.
To see it as we're on the highlights, but the Nepal team coming to thank their fans as they always do, the lap of honour going all the way around the Oman Cricket Academy and applauding their fans just like they were one of the team. The 12th player at it again. Kushamala held that simple catch, and then Sandeep Lamachani struck with the very next delivery, was on a hat-trick and got the decision going his way. That was a good catch. Great glove work by Asif Sheikh, often overlooked as to how clean his glove work is. And then the winning moment, Kushal Bertel getting that first wicket to his name, and another catch. They won't come any easier than that for Dipendra Singh Ari. There are the Nepal players going around the ground to thank their fans. A lovely touching moment on what has been the most perfect opening day for them. We'll leave you with the news before the post-match presentation that Nepal have won by 58 runs. Do stay with us. We'll hear from both captains and we'll find out who the player of the match is in about 5 to 10 minutes time.
Full presence T20 World Cup qualifiers. नेपाल को विश्व
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक, एनर्जी भनेकै रेड